Before starting the exciting story, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss new videos. No one expected the story to end like this. In the dimly lit conference room of a modest hotel, the air buzzed with anticipation. Journalists shuffled their notes, murmuring among themselves as they waited for the star of the hour. Mary Thompson, a renowned journalist with a reputation for her fearless interviews, sat at the front of the room, her heart racing with excitement. She was known for asking the questions that others dared not touch, and today she had her sights set on none other than Robert Downey Jr. Mary had spent weeks preparing for this moment. She had read every biography, every tabloid article, and had even immersed herself in Downey's filmography to understand the complexities of the man behind the charismatic characters. She structured the questions so that easy conversational questions come first, followed by something no one expected. Her approach was straightforward, yet strategic. She intended to challenge him, to unravel the layers of his public persona, and to get the answers that had eluded so many. The thrill of the chase invigorated her, but she also felt the weight of expectation. She didn't think about whether her question had the right balance between sharpness and respect. As the clock approached the hour, Mary noticed the noise in the room growing. The double doors swung open, and in walked Robert Downey Jr., the man who had captured hearts and headlines alike. He exuded a magnetic charm, dressed casually, yet impeccably, with a hint of mischief glinting in his eyes. The room fell silent, every journalist's gaze fixated on him. With a confident stride, he approached the podium, greeting the audience with a warm smile. "Thank you all for being here," in a calm and clear voice, he said in a calm and clear voice. The tension in the room melted slightly, replaced by an electric energy. Mary took a deep breath, feeling the gravity of the moment. "Mr. Downey," Mary began, her voice steady but firm, "you've been in the spotlight for decades. Your life has been a fascinating ride, filled with triumphs and struggles. But behind the glitz and glamour, what kind of novels do you find yourself hiding away?" Downey's expression shifted momentarily, a flicker of surprise crossing his face. "Hiding, you say?" he replied, leaning forward, his tone playful. "You know, it's less about hiding and more about indulging. I'm quite fond of existential literature. It's a mirror to the soul, don't you think?" Mary pressed on, undeterred by his charm. "Many people are curious about your financial habits. How much do you really spend on your passions? Are there extravagant purchases you regret?" A knowing smile crept onto Downey's face, as if he appreciated her persistence. "Money is a tool, Mary. I'd like to think I spend it on experiences rather than possessions. What's regretful is spending on things that don't feed the soul. Though I did once buy a vintage motorcycle, I've never learned to ride." The audience chuckled, but Mary remained focused. "And what about your private life? Does your family ever feel the pressure of your fame? How do you protect them from the media's gaze?" For the first time, Downey's demeanor shifted, his eyes reflecting a depth of sincerity. "My family is my sanctuary. I'm fiercely protective of them. Fame can be a double-edged sword, but I've learned that authenticity, both in my work and personal life, keeps the balance." Mary sensed the opportunity to delve deeper. "Do you ever indulge in adult films? After all, curiosity is a part of the human experience." The room held its breath, the question hanging in the air. Downey leaned back, a grin breaking across his face. "I think we can all agree that curiosity drives many of our choices. However, let's remember that a well-crafted story, be it in film, literature, or yes, even the risque, often holds a mirror to our desires. It's not about what we indulge in, but how we view ourselves through those stories. As the interview progressed, the atmosphere in the room shifted, charged with a mix of intrigue and tension. Mary, sensing the rhythm of the conversation, leaned in with renewed determination. She was ready to push the boundaries further, to dig deeper into the psyche of the man before her. "Mr. Downey," she began, her voice steady, "you've faced your share of personal challenges. Your marriage to Susan has been in the spotlight as well. There are whispers and rumours. The air in the room thickened, and Downey's expression darkened momentarily, a flicker of vulnerability crossing his features. "I appreciate your boldness, Mary, but let's clarify something. Rumours are often just that, noise. My marriage is built on trust and love, not on the fleeting whispers of the outside world. Trust me, I have no time for that." Mary pressed on, undeterred. "But in a world filled with temptations, what would you change about your life to truly feel good? Is there something you wish you could do that falls outside the lines of legality?" A glimmer of amusement danced in Downey's eyes, but there was a seriousness to his demeanour. "We all have fantasies, don't we? But for me, the most important change would be to cultivate a deeper sense of peace, something that isn't tied to societal rules. I think we often seek fulfillment in the wrong places. It's about finding joy in the mundane, in simple moments. That's my rebellion." The audience was enraptured, and Mary sensed the intensity rising. "Do you believe in God?" she asked, her voice firm yet curious. Downey paused, his gaze turning contemplative. "Faith is a complicated tapestry, isn't it? I believe in something greater than ourselves, whether that's a universal energy or a divine being. It shapes our morals and drives our actions. It's about connection, both with ourselves and with others. I think that's sacred." Mary felt the gravity of his words. She could sense the layers peeling away, revealing a man who was more than just a Hollywood icon. "What about your past?" she pressed. "Do you ever find yourself haunted by your mistakes? What keeps you grounded?" His smile returned, softer now. "Ah, the past. It's a teacher, not a prison. I've made choices I'm not proud of, but they've shaped me into who I am today. I'm grateful for the lessons learned, the redemption earned. What keeps me grounded? My family, my art, and the awareness that I'm a work in progress." As the interview reached its crescendo, Mary realized that the conversation had transformed into a powerful exchange. The initial intention of probing for scandal had evolved into a dialogue rich with introspection and authenticity. She felt a surge of respect for the man before her, a realizati. As the press conference concluded, the room buzzed with quiet murmurs. The journalists gathered their things, some still processing the weight of Robert Downey Jr.'s words. Mary, however, remained seated for a moment, her fingers resting on her notepad. She had pushed boundaries today, perhaps too far. The raw honesty in Downey's responses had surprised her, but what lingered in her mind was the flicker of vulnerability she had glimpsed in his eyes. Had she crossed a line? Determined to find closure, she made her way backstage. The dimly lit corridor hummed with distant chatter, and at the end of it, standing near a door marked "Private," was Robert Downey Jr. himself. He leaned casually against the frame, arms crossed, his signature smirk. Mary hesitated for a moment before stepping forward. "Mr. Downey," she began, her voice softer now, lacking the sharp edge it had carried earlier. "I just wanted to say, I hope I wasn't too intrusive. Some of my questions, They might have been uncomfortable, and if they were, I truly apologize. For the first time, she saw something in his expression shift. Not annoyance, not frustration, but understanding. He studied her for a moment, then nodded, as if considering "You did your job, Mary," he finally said, his voice steady yet warm. "You asked the tough questions because that's what a real journalist does. And you know what? I respect that." Mary exhaled, relief washing over her. "Thank you,"